Hello, welcome to the Blue Shell Review. I'm Chris Taylor. Joining me is the ginger Alex McMullen.
Hello, you sexy people!
Oh, stop being so enthusiastic.
And the whinger Matt Chapman.
Oh, yeah.
Ginger and whinger, you get it. Anyway, I've been rooting around in my brain for a good subject, and I'm going to talk about three particular games, and these are all connected by one particular subject.
But that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, rooting around in my brain, it's a dark place.
Yeah.
I've picked out three games, and they're all connected by the same subject. And basically, what it is, it's fantasy open world RPGs. Because obviously the thing is, there's a multiple of open world games out there, but ones I'm talking about, because obviously you got things like Grand Theft Auto, Watch Dogs, things like that. But they're all sort of city-based things and things like that. So I'll start with the first one. Then. So the first one being Skyrim. Skyrim is
Making it sound like E.
I don't think that game really ever ends.
Actually, it's the smallest of the three. Would you believe? It's 39 kilometers squared. I love this game. It's an amazing game. It really is. What I do have one bone of contention with it though, and I don't want to sort of fall back into that constructive negativity thing. Now, every game I've played, I mean, I've not played the first. I've not played Arena or Daggerfall. I've only ever played sort of Morrowind onwards. But each one that I've played, you always start off as a prisoner. I think the idea is this sort of redemption idea where you start off with this sort of nobody, sort of like, worst of the worst sort of thing.
Well, that's the thing though. You're developing your character as you go.
Yeah.
And you're making the choices. Perhaps it's just coincidence, but maybe it's just something that Bethesda feel that that's the best way to start a game in such a place.
Yeah, I love how it's customized. You can buy your own houses. You can decorate houses how you want them. Put things on shelves. You can go out. You can mine your own ore, smelt the ore, turn it into a sword, and on. All this sort of customizable stuff that's on it. My second game I want to talk about is The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. This is a CD Projekt Red game, which they did an amazing job on this game. Now, we've gone from basically the smallest map to the largest map now.
See, I can say stuff now.
Because you know what I'm talking about.
Great experience in this game. I was completely obsessed with it, and that's an understatement. I got so, you know when you're a kid and you play a game and you get so into it, you feel like you're there. You feel like you're in that world.
Yes, just Fantasy Island Dizzy did that for me.
I was thinking back to sort of the example that's always strong with me is the Monkey Island games.
Yeah, Simon the Sorcerer.
Yeah. I felt like I was having that adventure. I felt like I was going to those places, and
You were having insult sword fighting.
Yeah. But there was sort of this gap. I don't know if you guys relate to this, but like I must have played that game when I was about 10 or 11. And you get so immersed in it, and so, like I say, you feel like you're part of this world, and you discover a new island or something that you can go to, and you're like, you feel like you're going there. You get, let's get on the ship and all that kind of thing. And then there was like a lapse in that for years and years where I was still into gaming, but no game ever made me feel like that. Well, and then it was something like The Witcher that made me.
It's a very immersive, interactive game.
I believe that. Going on from what Matthew just said, I mean...
Matthew?
Oh no, sorry, Matt. Anyway.
That didn't sound right.
Matt, yeah.
Matt.
The game that literally... I think that's why open world games make you actually feel like you're there, because you're in the control of that character. You go where you want, do what you want.
No,
you
I agree.
Create your own story.
I know that The Witcher it was one of these that, certainly for me, is that if you sat in front of your TV, you got your headphones on, so you've got the full sort of... surround sound going on, you lose yourself in this world, and like I say, it's the biggest world out of the three games I mentioned here of 219 kilometers squared.
Wow.
The story is brilliant. I mean, I love the side quests. I mean, the main story is brilliant anyway, but I love the side quests as well, with the fact that because you're this Witcher, you're this sort of hunter for hire. And you're sort of hired to hunt down all these sort of weird mythical creatures that you normally carry around their head on your horse. My third and final game that I want to talk about is Dragon Age Inquisition. All right, which, by the way, neither one of these pair will have a frigging clue what that's about.
Yeah, time for me to go quiet again.
I will say, I just could not get into this one for some reason. I don't know whether it was because the bad guys all look the same, or the fighting was quite repetitive, or Well, when you actually start off and you're playing for the first 15, 20 minutes, it got very repetitive. So,
I mean, it's made by BioWare, and it is this sort of it's the middle of the three in terms of its size. I think it was something like 129 kilometres squared. Well, I mean, one of the things that I love about this game, and obviously you two can't really relate to this, is the fact that it's got such a great storyline to it. Even down to the NPCs, like when you're walking along some sort of massive sort of mountain area and you're enjoying the view, all your little buddies that you take with you are all having a chat with themselves behind each other, because they have interactive NPCs. All the NPCs talk to each other, even when you're not sort of talking to them. Anyway, open world fantasy games, that's the three I've chosen. Let us know what you like. Anyway, I think it's time for Guess the Sound.
oh, okay.
Guess the sound. Guess the sound. Right, so this is Guess the Sound. This is the game where one of us will play a particular sound. In this instance, like last time, it will be a theme tune of some sort. And the other two have to guess what it is. The one that guesses the most wins. This week, Matt is pitting me and Alex against each other.
Yay!
Yay. Right, best of luck. Okay, you guys ready for sound number one?
Yep.
Theme number one, as it is this.
Oh, yeah, theme number one, yeah.
Okay,
Oh, I'm ready for a theme. If you'd have said a sound, I'd have been...
okay. Here we go then.
Monkey Island.
Oh, yes, sausage. That was quick.
Let's just have a bit more of it.
How could you not tell?
I mean,
You gotta give it at least one note.
yeah. I mean, it was that quick with that. It made me say, "Oh, your sausage."
It's nice to get a point, to be
Let's
honest.
just give it.
I never say, "Oh, your sausage." Okay.
Okay, you ready for number two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tekken.
Second what?
7. Tag.
Tekken 3.
Yes. Tekken tag. You can stop now.
Number 3.
Yeah, ready.
Ready?
Mario. Super Mario SNES.
Super Mario World.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Well, you sort of went Mario, Super Mario, SNES. Because you know that famous game, Super Mario SNES.
Yeah. Now this one is arguably the toughest one to get, but you should still, you know.
Right.
So number 4.
3, 4,
4.
4.
Ready?
Witcher.
Wrong.
Tomb Raider.
Wrong.
Oh, hang on. Is it wrong that I know the artist, but not the...
Start again. From the beginning?
Yeah.
Is it Horizon?
Yes. Horizon
Yeah.
Zero Dawn.
2 all again. We always come down to a draw.
Well done, Chris.
Okay.
Thanks, mate.
You ready for the decider?
Come on then.
Yeah.
I think so.
Uncharted.
Yes.
Yeah! That's the first one I've won.
Is it rubbish?
It is. That's the first guess of sound I've won.
Put it on because I like it.
You say I've only ever won one. I've lost one. And I've only ever done one yesterday.
Hang on, you kind of only won one, because if you've won one and I've only won one, that means he's won every other game.
Well, he practically has, hasn't he? Okay, so I've pre-ordered some of the biggest games coming out, and what I've decided to do is actually do a review
Okay.
on the games as and when I receive them. Right, so I've played this game, and it's Black Ops 4. I've been playing this game, and I'm going to contradict myself, because I don't normally like online games.
No.
Okay, so Black Ops 4 is purely an online game. Purely an online game.
Purely.
Do you know what I have to say? He told me the other day that
He
Black
told
Ops-
me the other day.
Alex told me the other day that Black Ops 4 is online only. There's no
there's
single
no
player
single
story.
player.
I nearly
Yeah.
fell over.
I contradicted myself by actually enjoying this multiplayer game. But one of my favourite modes that I'm actually playing, a few friends of mine, were playing.
Whoa. You've got friends?
Don't make me hurt you.
Other than me and Matt?
You know he's the only one.
Oh, that's it. That's the end of this review.
So I've been playing Blackout.
Okay.
Okay,
You said it was Black Ops, man. Make up your mind.
the mode is called Blackout. Very similar to PUBG, very similar to Fortnite. You can either do it in singles, you can do it in duos, or you can do it in fours. And what you do is you enter a big map. Map is huge, and what you do is you fight against other people, and you try and be the last one left.
Every other Black Ops multiplayer online then.
But it's literally you're going around in a big open world. Let's say open world, big open map, and you have to try and get a weapon. You have to try and work together to try and be that last person. The same as Fortnite, the same as PUBG. But what I will say is, really enjoying it because it, unlike what I didn't like about the old CODs was because I was that rubbish. I would literally appear dead, appear dead, appear dead.
What's changed?
So in this one, the map is that big.
They can't find
You can hide.
Well, I can hide.
Let them take each other out.
But I like it because it's more strategic. It's got that almost Battlefield feel because Battlefield was more open, big open map. My personal opinion of this game.
Okay.
So my personal opinion of this game, I would probably give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10.
You hadn't thought about that until that moment.
I hadn't. No. But what I thought was, I've got.
What makes it 7 out of 10?
So what makes it 7
losing
out of 10?
points?
So it's losing points on the fact it's got no single player.
Okay.
Okay, that's a big point for me because I do enjoy it. Yeah. Also, the multiplayer. I've never been a big fan of the multiplayer small maps.
Yeah.
So, but this is completely my opinion. The graphics are good. The gameplay is good. The teamwork's good. The laugh that you can actually have playing it as well.
Yeah.
I think it's really good.
Is there some kind of higher element of team play than there was in previous Call of Duty?
Yeah, definitely. Because if you've got your headset on and you're in a team, basically they show up on your map, and you can all land at the same point together and work with each other, taking buildings. So if there's a door open to that building, you obviously know someone's been in there, but could they still be in there? I tell you what, you take the front door, we'll go around to the right, see if there's any more.
No, I already know you're going to be absolutely useless at this.
Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
Yeah. Because I've seen you on Wildlands, and that is not a pretty sight. Because we all sit there and we go, right, you be the sniper in the tower, you go round the side, Alex. Oh, lads, I'm down. That is basically how it goes every time.
Leroy Jenkins!
Yeah.
Completely agree.
Yeah, so no, that's not going to happen.
But nowadays it's Alex McMullen!
Only in your head.
Yeah.
Right, little known gaming fact, I think.
Right. Little known gaming facts. Little known gaming facts. Little known gaming facts. Right, okay, so little known gaming fact on this review is about Silent Hill.
Oh.
Okay. So people that don't know about Silent Hill, it's a horrible, nightmarish
It's a good game. It's based in a horrible, nightmarish world.
I don't know about Silent Hill. I'm obviously just coming across, if this is anyone's first one of our podcasts.
Do you even know computer games?
Yeah.
Have you even watched the films?
It's all I'm making it sound like. Yeah, I watched one of the films and didn't understand what the hell was going on because I'd never played the game.
I suppose
Take your head away from Mario once in a while.
So basically, it is set in somebody's head, would you say?
No.
Or no? Alright, start again.
What game are you reviewing?
No, but, right. Okay, well, it is really, because it's that person's alter ego, it's their subconscious, it's their...
Well, you've read a lot more into this than I have, because to me, it was a town that is been taken over by some form of evil.
Yes, which is that person's psyche.
And there was someone with a triangle head.
Pyramid head.
Head.
Yeah, which is one of the player's particular emotions, feelings that
he's got a triangle head.
Honestly, him saying that is just blown my mind.
Really?
Because I just thought it was like this town.
No.
that just sort of was taken over by evil as such.
No, it's
I never looked into the psyche of it.
It's completely. It is. Yeah. Have a look into it.
Yeah.
It is proper. Like
I'll play that game now with a whole different view.
some of the characters you come across. some of the. Okay, some of the characters that you bump into, better,
a little bit.
Okay, some of the characters that you bump into are certain personas of certain emotions, or you know, the.
What does that mean? And the nurses are basically lust.
The nurses are the nurses.
The nurses.
Okay, so the nurses
From Blackadder.
Bear in mind, this isn't the fact, by the way, but this is obviously something
Something that's in your head.
So, the name of the guy in the first Silent Hill?
Harry Mason.
That's the one.
Boom! Check me out.
Yeah, well done. Harry Mason. So he comes across the nurses, and that is
I bet he does.
So his wife was dying in hospital, and he had a sort of
No, he's looking for his daughter in the first one.
No, but his wife did die.
Well, yeah, I'd imagine she did die at some point.
But the whole idea about these nurses.
This is currently the least informative game section.
If you let me finish what I'm saying, you won't need to interrupt me, and it'd be finished.
Okay, yeah.
Right,
so the nurse is a
so
sort of manifestation of his wife's death.
No, it was sort of the wrong. He shouldn't be thinking it, but it's a sexual desire, because that's why they're all provocative.
So it's what I said right at the beginning. Then they personify lust.
Well,
So these characters are all representations of something that they desire. So the Pyramid Head, he's a guy that really fancies like a cup of PG tips.
No.
No. Or a Toblerone.
Anyway, the game Silent Hill is actually based on a real town. There is a real town out there.
It's called Centralia.
No, it's called. Oh, it is. Oh, you bugger. Yeah, it's in Where is it then?
In America.
Yeah, where?
In the middle.
In the Midwest.
It's in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And apparently there was a fire set, and there's coal underneath, and it's constantly burning. Constantly burning underneath this town.
I mean,
gives it the ash falling from the sky.
When you said there was a fire set, you mean there was like a big sort of blazing...
Yeah, there was a big blazing fire.
Yeah, it wasn't just like some bloke in his living room.
No, and that town was eradicated, and so no one's lived there since. But that Silent Hill is actually based on that town.
Am I right in thinking as well that the fire is still going now?
Exactly.
Who keeps the fire going?
It's
because it's coal. Coal is under because it's all coal mine.
Fossil fuel underneath.
Yeah,
it's just constantly burning, and it's constantly smoking.
Because
the ash is dropping from the sky.
I have actually seen pictures of this, and all the roads all cracked and pieces
exactly.
where the coal has sort of burst through.
But anyway, so we sort of drifted away from that, but
you pulled it back. I think we got away with it.
We got a lot of information there. But yeah, if you're interested,
there you go. Alex's little known gaming fact.
My thing today is the subject of fighting games. So there's been a thing over the years where us lot have kind of dabbled in them, haven't we? And I think that the only one that we ever really became hardcore lovers of was, someone say it for me.
Hardcore lovers.
Yeah, hardcore lovers.
Hardcore lovers.
You know
Tekken.
which series I'm referring to?
Yeah, Tekken.
It's Tekken, right? I want to see what you guys think is the reason for that.
Well,
right?
for me, it's because it's the only one out of any of those games I've ever seen where it solely focuses around sort of like strategic movement and sort of realistic fighting styles rather than involving things like fireballs and...
But then Dead or Alive is exactly the same.
No, it didn't.
Did it not?
No, Dead or Alive was manic.
To be fair, it was a lot more hectic and fast.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
But I think what he's saying is there was none of that kind of Hadouken and
No, there was no fireballs or anything like that. But
out.
Tekken had this style, and still does to this day, where it bases real fighting styles against each other, but it's not like that quick pace where you can't see what's going on, where you can just bash any button and get away with it.
Yeah.
You really got to think about like, oh, I've got to block this, I've got to sidestep that, I can get a punch in here. You know, you've really got, it's all strategic movement. You've got to guess what the other guy's going to do.
I think there's an element of that in probably every fighting game, but you're right. Platform games, for instance, are all kind of pretty similar. You know what to expect. You're going to go, right, my character's going to jump up if I do that, and he's going to jump and land on the enemies if I do that, and then, you know. So there's going to be differences, but the core of it is basically the same. Whereas a fighting game, I think there's only room in a typical person's brain to learn the mechanics of one fighting game, because they're all so different. If you sat there and learnt Tekken, as we did, and you got the hang of how Tekken works and the timing of it and stuff like that, it is very, very hard to go and learn another fighting game. Yeah, you and me, Chris, we've spent a bit of time playing the Injustice games, and like I say, made by the same people as Mortal Kombat. I'm not saying that there's no skill in playing Mortal Kombat, because there really is. I'm sure there are people out there who could completely wipe the floor with me. I wouldn't even get a move in. But you can learn to be half decent at the Mortal Kombat games and the Injustice games, because there's some basic things that are quite easy to learn. You can sort of go, okay, down, left and square throws a, you know...
sort of the quarter circle forward, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So you can know...
Which, again, still stands true in things like Injustice as well, because it's all based off the same sort of fighting mechanic.
But there are some games which are so in-depth, I don't think you're ever really going to learn them if you've already learnt another fighting game.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end of the Blue Shell review. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye.